All right, welcome. All right, so this week we're going to go ahead and go through the semantics of our HTML code. So as we can see, we start with our doc type, HTML, with our language English. All right, we have our head with our character set. We have our title. Then we move into our body. We have our header. Starting off, we went ahead and went with an H1 because it signifies the standing point of the page, which is our logo. The reason I went with the logo over the writing itself was because not only are we trying to portray the word rock band, but we're trying to market their logo, which is how the users get to know them. Also within the header, we have our nav. We have a list of our references, of our nav tags here, or our nav with our anchor tags are to each page, so we can see it goes through. Once we move out of the header, we went ahead and I had a article for the latest single that we have here because it can function on its own. If I were to drag and drop that into Facebook, everyone would, they would know what they were looking at and they would know what they were there for. So, and then with the hierarchy of the page, we went ahead and have it at an H2 with the P tag of album, and then we went ahead and added the audio bar, so on and so forth with the button that allows the user to buy the album if they so choose. All right, moving in, also on the main page, we have our blog section. Here we just have the latest band news. Within this section, we each have an article. Like I said, since these can exist on their own, they're all going to be in their own article tags. Moving down with our tour dates. Since it is tabular data, we went ahead and do it in a table here. Again, following the same hierarchy of the page. As you can see, we're just going down, getting all the info on the tour dates. We have the about, which we have about the band, which is a H2 tag, that's subheading. So we have the H4 for the like I call this like the welcome line. Once I get down to it, putting plain English in it, it'll be like the welcome line, maybe like the band's mission statement or something. And then the P tag here just simulates maybe like a small background of them. So, and then that shuts out that section. Then we have our footer here, which is about the same from what we see. We have our reference to the news and to the contact page. And then we close the footer, close the body, close the HTML. So we have our HTML, I'm sorry, our about page, we can see. So the same thing, we have our list here of the band members. So this would be their name, what they play, so on and so forth. So it follows that hierarchy again. So we have the H3, which is the subheading to the subheader. So in other words, we're just moving down. Footer's the same here, so we can see our footer. Everything closes. Have our contact page. Again, same thing. We have our nav list up here. And here we have our contact page and the head in a H2. So we have that going. And then we have our contact info. So we have our address, and that's in the address tag there. We have our phone number. Have that. Have our email tag, or our email here with the email. So when you click on that link in the page, it'll actually bring up your email, allow the user to send an email. Same thing following the page hierarchy, H2 for miscellaneous info, P tag for pretty much asking for what their complaint is and why they're on this page. Have our form here. I put two things, well, plus the button in one, but I put two things in div tags here. So this is name and email. So I see this as being not semi-personal, but it is personal information. So we want that personal information from the user. So that's why they're in the same div. And then we have our div for the subject and the message. So that's why they so happen to come to that contact page and just explains why they're there. So they're in their own div tag as well. So and then we close our form, close our section, then we have our footer as well. We have our news page, logo again, navigation, and then here's our articles of the blog. So article there, so it's the same as the home page. Follows the same thing. We can go down. Every blog is an article because, like I said, it can stand alone. So it's the best way to do it. We have our tour dates here, and then we just have our section, the ID of tours, upcoming events, and it's the tours, and then it's maybe like a small thing of what they're doing this year. And then we have a list of the different tours that they may or not may, but that they will be on end. Shows a time, date, place, so on and so forth. And then we can just do a quick little look at it all here. We can see it all looks good. So we have our news page, our tour dates, our contact, and our about. All right, thanks for your time.